Coming up next, it's a special edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. You have questions, we have answers, and specifically, some of you have some questions about what David Hero has had to say lately on the Pro Wrestling Report. We get to that and a whole lot more coming up next on the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive.
Number one since 1998 on television, ESPN Radio, and the World Wide Web, this is the Pro Wrestling Report with your hosts, the man they call Meathead, Frank Cosentino, and Damian Nelson. Professional wrestling news, opinion, and information from fans for fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive, a special Sunday edition of It's Super Bowl Sunday, David.
Yeah, why are we here? Really?
Well, we're here.
There's nachos, there's, tailgate.
It's early enough. We can still get to the game and watch the Saints play the
Colts
of Indianapolis and then hopefully celebrate a Saints win. Who are you rooting for?
To be quite honest, if my fantasy football team's not playing, I could care less who wins. But I will cheer for the Saints.
So you want the Saints to win?
Because they will show more of Kim Kardashian if the Saints do well. Right? I mean, come on.
Damian Nelson and David Hero sitting with you again, this special Sunday edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Our email inbox is literally running over. So we're cleaning out the inbox and bringing you these special editions of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to go back and check out the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time from this past Friday, where we talked about the end of ECW, our thoughts on the Royal Rumble, and this past Monday night's Raw, and so much more. But David, let's get right to it. And as a matter of fact, normally this is Meathead's show along with myself. You're here because we've had some specific questions. Some people who have taken some challenge with some of the things you've said on some recent episodes.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Come on.
They're hot about it.
And I guess they're saying it. All right.
First one comes from Bruce Kimmelfield. Bruce Kimmelfield, is that Irish as well?
No, I don't think so. Sounds like Native American.
Bruce says, on the February 1st radio show, Dave Hero said that having guys like Swagger and Kingston win the Rumble would not work because they could not be built for Mania. I would like to hear his explanation for the Yokozuna Rumble win. I'm not sure if he had much more of a build in '93 than any of today's young guys have now.
Well, let's see. Yokozuna.
Banzai!
600-pound monster?
I still cringe at the fact that so many people took that leg drop from him.
600-pound monster. You can build him in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Jack Swagger, as much as a Jack Swagger fan I am, he's been mid-card job guy lately.
Mm-hmm. In great matches, though.
Yeah, in great matches. But Kofi Kingston, he's not there yet. But Yokozuna, he's a monster. And he was. And who did he work with? Bret Hart.
Yep.
So, David and Goliath.
You mean to tell me Yokozuna was a champion for 5 minutes? Not only did he run right in WrestleMania, but he was Hogan's last match in WWE before he went to WCW.
Yeah.
King of the Ring '93. Dayton, Ohio, I believe.
The terrible flash paper.
Yeah.
That was just brutal.
Trivia about Yokozuna. Share it with the world. He wasn't really Japanese?
No, absolutely not.
That's a little.
He's a relative of the Samoans, Rikishi.
Absolutely.
And
Bonsai! There were some great times.
Yokozuna. Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Am I wrong?
It's your opinion. I can't say whether your opinion's right or wrong. We'll let Bruce Kimmelfield answer. I think there is some merit to your explanation.
Thank you. As long as he agrees, it's golden.
I miss Yokozuna. I miss stars like him. I
miss Yoko. I miss Mr. Perfect.
Yoko went from being billed when he first came in at 505 to 641 by the time he was gone. I mean, he did
was
grow.
Almost 800 pounds when he died.
Yeah, and remember, he used to do spinning heel kicks. He was aerial. I mean, Yokozuna was a great big man when he first came into WWE.
Remember those his leg match drops, with Undertaker, the casket match?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. Yeah. That was at a Rumble, too.
Yeah. Yes,
great match. Find that one on YouTube.
Bruce Kimmelfield, thank you very much for that email. See, we don't back down from challenges or questions that people have. We're here for the peeps. Continuing on the email track, this one comes from Houston, Texas, a viewer by the name of James Parrish. After reading a wide range of Royal Rumble reactions out in the IWC, it seems that the general consensus was that WWE kind of pressed the reset button on the push of young talent that they were pushing before the Rumble. I personally think that the WWE wants to keep the big money talent in the spotlight now due to the competition moving to the same spot on Monday nights. And WWE doesn't want to take a chance deep into the road to WrestleMania programming by pushing younger stars, with the exception of Sheamus, since he has won the belts. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Well, WrestleMania is about the top talent.
Absolutely.
So that's what WrestleMania
Have they ever taken a
is.
chance with it? Bam Bam, I think in the main event of WrestleMania was a bit of a chance. Granted, you had Lawrence Taylor, that made sense, but it was always a little confusing that they chose Bam Bam in that
No,
spot.
when you have the WrestleMania, and that's all about the buy rates. That that is their Super Bowl, World Series,
Mhm.
and NBA Finals all rolled up in one.
Why do you think the NFL put the two best teams in the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, and that was rigged, by the way.
That's fixed.
Brett Favre should have been there. But that's another show.
He still plays?
I'll let Meathead talk about that with Mr. Anderson all he wants. We'll stick to wrestling right now. But, I mean, who do you put there? Kofi's not ready for a main event at Mania yet. He might be 2 or 3 years away.
How is Sheamus ready?
Because he's the heel.
Okay.
You can use a different... You can
So The
use
Miz can headline WrestleMania? He's a heel. Can Randy Orton headline WrestleMania? He's a heel.
He's a true
Some
heel.
say a true heel.
He's a true heel. The difference... Okay, and this goes back to the Yokozuna theory.
Bonsai!
Sheamus is a monster heel.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to put him in the ring with a ring general, which should be Triple H. So whatever isn't there won't be exposed because Triple H will take care of him during that match. They're building up Sheamus as a monster heel.
Okay.
Much like Yokozuna, much like how Sid was a monster heel. I compare Sheamus to Big John Studd. Kind of limited, big guy, drew a lot of money when put in the right situation.
Thank you for that email, James, who ends by saying, congrats on winning Broadcast Show of the Year. It was very well deserved, and thank you for that, and thank you for your support. Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN voted the best broadcast professional wrestling radio show in the whole world today.
Are you really surprised?
Well, you know,
I
I'm
mean,
humble.
think about it. Ken Anderson's first interview.
First.
We had it the day BG Road Dogg James was fired. We had him and his partner Billy Gunn on.
On the same show?
We've had Kevin Nash on in his bathtub drinking wine, playing with Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett dolls.
3 times.
I mean, come on.
The Al Snow Epic from April.
We've had
The Sunny interview, which was received Editor's Choice Award.
we've
for
had
this one.
Lacey talk about her cleavage. I mean, think about
Yeah.
Terry Reynolds professing her undying love for me. I mean, yeah.
She meant to say me, but that's okay. Paulo Rogue sends this in, and the title is What WWE Should Do to Become More Interesting Than What It Is Now. I started watching wrestling in 1999 when I was 8. I was always a WWE fan. Now it is so hard for me to get into watching Raw and SmackDown like I used to. I would like these 5 things to happen because it'll bring more of an interest to WWE and progress to a wrestling war like the 1990s. Number 1, get rid of ECW.
Done.
Who watches that?
Done.
Push stars such as MVP, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, Shelton Benjamin, and others. I believe at some point this year, TNA is likely to have a superstar they develop as TNA champion.
What are you doing?
Parentheses.
Oh, but you're trying to listen a little better.
Get rid of the brand extension. They don't have the roster size they had in 2002. Have better gimmicks and more and better heel and face turns. Stop putting guys like Batista, Triple H, Undertaker, and Randy Orton in the main event in every pay-per-view. It becomes stale, and it seems that they refuse to take a risk and put someone new in a main event. That email from Paulo, the 5 things as far as he sees it that WWE needs to do to get more interest.
Undertaker still draws.
Absolutely.
So you can say what you want about Taker. At the end of the day, he works hard, he looks great, and he works with the talent.
Works hard.
He does work hard. He's. I have yet to see a bad match out of the Undertaker.
And what most people don't know is, in as much pain as he is in, to still be able to perform on the level he does. Granted, it's limited at times as far as the number of times he does it, but just a total professional and the leader on the SmackDown side of things in the locker room.
Well, he's a leader in both locker rooms, actually. But he does have one mountain of his own.
Thank you for that email, Paulo. And just like earlier, David Hero, somebody's got another question for you. This comes from Kellen in Massachusetts. I should have found out how he voted before we selected this for an on-air read.
Wow. And now you're bringing politics in?
No, I'm just saying so that
First
we
it
knew.
was football, now politics.
It's Super Bowl Sunday, Dave.
Boy, you get the wrestling award, now you want to be the World News Award.
I'm looking for a Pulitzer. David Hero keeps bringing up.
I got a quick poll.
David Hero keeps bringing. Where's that orange? Me to take it. David Hero keeps bringing up that Christian is being punished every time Christian's name is brought up. I say this is completely off base. I know he went to TNA, and while Christian isn't on Raw or SmackDown, he is the one and only star on ECW, where the show is based around him. He's had 2 title reigns for a combined 9 months. Out of the 12 or so, he's been back. I'm sure guys like Jack Swagger, Evan Bourne, Carlito that are on one of the 2 big shows would like to be punished like that. So finally, Dave, how is this being punished? I'd really like to know. That from Kellen in Massachusetts, just
Okay.
seeking further explanation.
How many times has the ECW World Champion been on a pay-per-view?
Well, he went 2 months without, and then
Okay.
was put into a Survivor Series match back in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
There was a match at the Royal Rumble. I don't recall what happened in December, and I don't know if we'll see a defense at the Elimination Chamber.
See what I'm saying? He is great. I like Christian. I think he's a great guy, personally, professionally.
Great worker, by
He's
the way.
one of the best. He's one of the best talents out there.
Yeah.
He had a great match with Ezekiel Jackson.
Mhm.
Not many guys can do that, and but let's face it, he's a main event guy on the 3rd show.
Which is going to be no more soon.
How many times has Christian showed up on Raw or SmackDown?
What?
Even in
Oh.
absolutely never. He's been punished, and here's why he's been punished. He told Vince he wanted a break. Vince says, "Are you going to TNA?" He said no. What happens? He shows up in TNA.
Cuts a promo.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? He may have the ECW World Title on there, but I can guarantee you he'd rather not have that belt and be on Raw or SmackDown, where he's seen by everybody. But what do I know?
I accept that answer. Don't get hot about it. He's just
I
saying.
mean, he's just saying, but he's not paying attention.
Wow.
Well, really, who goes to ECW?
Well, William Regal.
Gold Dust.
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yeah, guys that they don't have anything for.
But they serve a purpose. Shelton Benjamin as well. They serve a purpose.
Shelton Benjamin used up all of his chances. So, okay, he's under contract. ECW.
Thank you for that email, Kellen from Massachusetts. And let's go to our final email of the day. Jack O'Connor from Liverpool, England, sends this in. I watched WWE Superstars last week and saw the triple threat match between Chris Masters.
You know what? Stop. Another thing. How many times have you seen Christian on Superstars?
That's going to take some work to figure out. Cal, can you look that up on the interwebs?
See what I'm saying? He's stuck on one brand.
Okay. But he's the rock of that brand.
Punished. No. He's not the Rock of any brand.
I don't mean Dwayne Johnson. I mean The Rock, like the movie or the Alcatraz.
He deserves to be on Raw. He deserves to be on SmackDown. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. Continue.
Jack from Liverpool, England. I watched Superstars last week and saw the triple threat match between Chris Masters, Primo, and Chavo. In the past, I haven't had many positive things to say about Chris Masters. However, since being given the valet services of Eve, I've become more interested in the character, and this match in particular has showcased his possible star talents. I find myself over the last few weeks becoming more interested in the undercard as I get frustrated with who's on top. In my honest opinion, maybe it's time WWE gives guys like Masters, Morrison, Christian, Ziggler a real chance, a real push. Let them become who they are meant to be. They might not work out with Triple H, they may not be company dogs, but they have the potential to be entertaining. And isn't that what an entertainment company is about? For what it's worth, I would work out with Triple H in a heartbeat. In fact, Triple H's workout book is the reason I go to the gym now. Who knows? I may see him in the ring one day. If I do, I'd like to belong there. Very well written from Jack over in Liverpool, England.
Can I address this workout partner thing?
Go right ahead.
What's wrong with that? If you're comfortable with somebody who has the same work ethic, who has the same vision, who has the same wrestling knowledge or wants to learn and be a sponge, what's wrong with that? If I'm Triple H and I know I am the heir to the biggest wrestling company in the world, I want guys that have my same passion and desire and ethic.
You want you.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe he sees himself in there. Whereas other guys like Dolph Ziggler and Swagger and Masters and whoever else, maybe they don't have that same drive and desire. Look at Carlito. Look at Shelton Benjamin. Guys that have a ton of potential, but they don't get it done.
In most business environments, and specifically in professional wrestling, it's not what you know, David. It's
Who you know. Absolutely.
and it's all about positioning.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's the way of the world. Like it or not, it's the way of the world. Now, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it's that's the way it is. I mean, a lot of you out there may have gotten to where you are based off of who you know, but that's just the way society works. Especially since the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to allow
Here we go
both
again.
union and business contributions to campaigns again. 5-4. There are 5 Republicans and 4 Democrats in the Supreme Court. Just saying. It's all
Or
on
you're
who you
not
know.
saying.
No, it's all on who you know.
So let's put the whole Triple H workout partner thing to bed.
Wow. I'd have to look back into the archives and see who started that. This is
Wow.
Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Where's the Super Bowl? Miami?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Enjoy the Super Bowl this evening. We'll be back with you.
Lots of Kim Kardashian shots. Please.
Another
Begging ya.
brand new edition of PWR Interactive as we clear out our email inbox. Coming up tomorrow and tomorrow night. It just doesn't stop here, does it? Tomorrow night, the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and streaming live at pwrshow.com. Thank you, David Hero. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Interactive, along with the man they call Meathead, the winner of this year's Orange. See you tomorrow.